Going after somebody who's caught up in a mess of sin is not fun, but it's necessary. I'm Zach. This is The Average Christian. When you look at Galatians 6, brothers, he's saying brothers and sisters to be more specific, if anyone is caught in any transgression. Now, that's not somebody who's just made a mistake. It's not being the police necessarily, the spiritual police. Somebody who's caught up in something, who's really having a problem, who's either lost their way, whatever the case is. If anyone is caught in any transgression, you who are spiritual, not those of us who hold a seance and just feel spiritual. You look at Galatians 5, it tells you how to know if you're spiritual, if you have those fruits of the Spirit, you know, the love and the joy and the peace and kindness and so forth. So all of those fruits, if you're a spiritual person, if you consider yourself that way, go after the one who's caught up in a transgression. But it is not, as we did a video recently, it is not a rock throwing contest. The idea is not to go get them and let them know how terrible they are. Can't believe you did this. We're going to have to shun you and not talk to you. Whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? Not to mistreat them. Notice how he says, in a spirit of gentleness, to be gentle, to handle them as somebody who's in a really, because they are in a terrible situation, making some bad decisions, and they need to be restored, not beaten down, not thrashed, but actually brought back and helped. And you think of Jesus talking about the 99 sheep that he left to go and find the one, or the woman who's looking for her lost coin in Luke 15. That's the idea, is restoration. And then he notice he says this about us who are spiritual: keep watch on yourself, lest you too be tempted. Lest you start to think, and there's all kind of ways to look at that, but lest you start to think that you're above that and could never dip that low or could never get into that. That's the temptation to be arrogant. There's also the temptation to be that spiritual police, and let's set them straight and let's go get them and make sure we make an example out of them. Whatever the case is, there are temptations in it. It's not easy to do. And not a lot of people are doing this, and I struggle with it too, because it's one of those things that's just not fun. It's conversations that aren't fun. These people need somebody to come after them. And when I find you or you find me all torn up in sin, the ones who are spiritual, we need them. We need you to step into that role.